let's go ahead and get this thing started. What? No. Oh, it's sideways. Hope you are doing good, chat. I wanted to talk to you about something today that I think is very important. I wanted to essentially go over stuff that a lot of people overlook, not intentionally, right? And I think it creates difficult situations for certain people, right? So let's talk about that. Very long time ago in I want to say February, the new patch for Street Fighter V was coming out, right? And when the new patch for Street Fighter V came out, everyone was super excited. Dan is out, Rose is coming, Aura is coming. This is great. But in the Discord that I'm in, a lot of people were really worried. Why were they worried? One of our friends, Dengster, who's in the chat right now actually, informed us that apparently for some reason the game had completely changed to mono audio, right? The game wasn't stereo anymore. If you don't know what stereo means, stereo is when essentially your music or your sound or whatever you want is split into two sides. It's split into the left and the right, and that gives you essentially spatial awareness of the sound, right? It's not just, oh, I like the drums here, or I like this here. It actually gives you the space of what's going on. The panorama is what you would call it. This is why you talk about panning things left and right. Pan stands for panorama. Actually, on that day, I made a tweet, the biggest tweet I've ever had. There's a lot of people that shared it around, which is really helpful because I think it's something that a lot of people should be aware of, right? So on that day in February, I tweeted, I play Street Fighter V with a lot of blind people, and the new update has made all the game sounds mono, which makes it impossible to tell the spacing through audio cues. If not fixed, this would hurt all sightless players greatly. And then at Capcom USA, at Street Fighter need to fix this ASAP. So I made this tweet, essentially just kind of raise awareness. Everyone in the Discord that we're in, where there's, a good number of blind people that play Street Fighter, were telling us about it, and we were just trying to spread the word, essentially to make noise so that Capcom would listen and fix it as soon as possible so that we could essentially keep playing with our friends, right? And so that the game kept on being as accessible as it was. By the way, Street Fighter V is a very well designed game in terms of sound design. The sound is very descriptive of what happens in the actual game, so that's the reason why a lot of blind people gravitate towards Street Fighter V, because after a while you can get used to actually playing it without seeing what's happening in the screen. Now, one thing that was very curious about this tweet, in the replies, these were most of the replies right here. Wait, what? There is blind people playing fighting games? Where? How? And then I responded kind of explaining. There were a lot of people asking about oh wow, I had no idea that there were blind people playing Street Fighter. A lot of people were not aware. And I think this is an important point to make, because I think a lot of the pitfalls that happen in, say, tutorial videos, combo videos, I think a lot of those pitfalls happen not because people are trying to be malintentioned, but because people are not aware of this whole community of people that do fight and that do play fighting games. Since they play the fighting games that allow them to, right? So the games that have good sound design. Some examples, Street Fighter V, the stereo situation in Killer Instinct is really good as well. I've also heard of Mortal Kombat 11 having really good sound design that allows for blind players to play. Essentially, the point that I'm trying to make is that a lot of times when people make a mistake or don't do the right thing whenever making a guide, it's usually because of ignorance rather than malice, right? I don't think it's neglect or malice or anything like that. So before I go into this guide, I do want to make sure that we make this conversation not about shame, right? Not about you did this and you are bad and you're inconsiderate, but more about learning. Everyone has the opportunity to learn there, and it is something that at first it's kind of incredible. Once you get used to it, you're oh yeah, this makes complete sense. And then you want to do things to allow for things to be easier and more accessible. Just that caveat at the beginning. This is not a video used for attacking other creators, but more for helping other creators make their content more accessible and make it better for everyone else. I wanted to talk about the things that fighting game guides and fighting game tutorials and combo videos should be doing in order to have the videos be as accessible as possible, so that blind people, deaf people, anyone that needs to access it can access it comfortably, right? So the first point that I want to make is probably the most important one by far, and it's to leave the game sound on. And you have to leave it on, and you have to leave it loud, right? A lot of times I watch videos on YouTube where the game sound is on, but it's just really quiet, or they just slap some sort of like song on top of it, and so now you can't really hear the moves, right? Because they're muted, you can only hear this song. And the problem with that is that if you're blind and you just have a video with the music, you're essentially not seeing anything. Blind players tell what's going on in the screen through the sound, right? And Street Fighter V goes as far as like the meter makes a sound. So a lot of the times when I play blind players, they are more aware of how much meter I have than I am, because they heard it and they kept track of it. So this sound part is so important, and we ignore it because it's like, whatever, you can see the inputs, you can see the screen, that's all good, right? But a screen reader, which is what a lot of blind people use to like read what's going on in a screen reader is not going to be able to like tell you what's in a video. It's not going to be able to tell you like, oh yeah, they did like 6p into whatever. So very important to leave the game sound on. I think this is like the most important part. One reason why a lot of people don't leave the game sound on is because they're slowing down the video, and so the game sound gets a little messed up when you slow down the video. That makes complete sense, and that's very nice, right? I think a slowed down version of the video is like really good, but also remember, YouTube has a very good capability of slowing down footage. It has a really powerful engine actually for slowing down footage without repitching it. It's actually really good. I use it for teaching music all the time. Just be aware that that feature exists, and there's other ways that you can work around it if you want to do a slowed down version of the video. We'll go over those later, right? Now, this one is less for blind people, more for deaf people, but again, we're trying to make this as accessible as we can. The second thing that you can do to make your videos more accessible would be to write the captions for the video, right? You can write captions on your video. YouTube gives you that option. When you post a video, there's a whole menu that tells you where to set the language, and it says the caption certification and all that. If you set the language, YouTube will actually attempt to caption your whole video. It'll make mistakes, obviously, because it's a computer. Then you can go into those guesses that YouTube made and edit them. Makes it a lot easier than having to like type out everything that you said in the video. That's another thing that you can do. This one takes a little bit more effort, but I think it's like definitely worth doing, right? You're just expanding your audience, and then you're like helping people, you're helping your videos be more accessible, and you're helping people be able to watch them comfortably regardless of whatever. One little side note on that, if you stream on Twitch, you should have the caption tool going on. There's an extension that automatically captions what you are streaming if you have it open while you're streaming. It only works in Chrome, but it works. I'm using it right now, actually. I will leave a video in the description for that link, right? So you can set it up on your stream, because I think it's very important that we all do that. The third thing is to have combo notation, both in the video and in the description. Now, in the video is not as important as in the description, but both can help. In the video, it's just like helpful, right? You can just see it. But if you have it in the description, then that means that a screen reader, a blind person, will be able to see what the combo notation is. And I think that if you're gonna have the combo notation in the description, it's very helpful if you separate your combos into chunks, if you have a lot of combos, if you title them, right? Like maybe these are your corner combos, maybe this one is your get out combo, maybe this is like what you mash whenever you're trying to just label them in some sort of way so that it's easy to navigate that. Remember that when you use a screen reader, it just reads back a certain chunk of text that's in the screen. So if you have it well labeled, then that's going to make it easier for everyone to like be able to like access it. Just keep that in mind. Make sure you have your combo notation both in the video and in the description. Now, I will say with combo notation, try to make it as standardized as you can. There's very set conventions in, for example, Guilty Gear's like numpad notation, and then all the special moves have a certain acronym that you use for them. So for example, with May, HHD means heavy horizontal dolphin. SHD means slash horizontal dolphin. If you have them standardized, then that means that a person that's like looking at that doesn't know what HHD is, they're going to be able to like find an answer to that a lot easier than if you just write your own shorthand that you like came up with. Why do we want to write standard notation? Essentially so that people can Google and be like, okay, what the hell is this? And then figure it out, right? So just keep that in mind. Now, if you have any descriptions, which I'm loving this, I've been seeing a lot of combo videos that like describe things that the combo should be doing, right? Describe the combo instead of just a notation. They're saying, okay, this combo does this, does that, and they put it on the screen, right? Now, if you have descriptions that you're writing on the screen of your combo, I would highly recommend that you put those descriptions in the video description as well. It would make sense for you to like maybe where you put the notation for your combo, you put the description of that combo next to it, right? Like maybe title then combo notation, and then combo description. In that same vein, another thing that you can do is to label everything in the description very well. Make sure that your labels are solid so that it's like literally like a menu, like a table of contents that you can like interact with. Beyond that point, right, I think one thing that everyone should be doing, not only for accessibility, but just because it's a really great feature, you should be using timestamp. The YouTube timestamp system is really strong. I will say sometimes it doesn't work. Like timestamps are supposed to divide your timeline into like little chapters, and sometimes that doesn't work. I don't know if that takes time to process or like what it is, but even if you don't have the chapter division, those timestamps in your video description will work, right? You don't have to have the actual divisions for the timestamps to work. The main thing that you want to keep in mind when you're doing timestamps is that you want your first timestamp to be the beginning of the video. So you want it to start with like 0:00 and then write what that timestamp is. And then like say the next combo happens at the 13th second, you write like 0:13 and then you write like what the next combo is. Those timestamps will make it so much easier for a blind person to navigate what's going on in the video. So if you put timestamps, people can like check out that one combo, go practice it, and then maybe come back to your video, check out that other combo. It's the future, man. It's 2021. Come on. I do have one thing. These are very like mechanical, methodical things that I think you should be doing that are going to make everything better in your video. I will say it's helpful if you actually speak in the video, if you actually speak about what you're talking about, if you have some sort of audio setup, if you're able to like record your voice, right? Voiceovers are good. They like help a lot, and they're just going to make everything more straightforward, right? And you don't have to rely only on the video description for like your descriptions of things. It's just a way of like adding extra layers of accessibility and of information to the situation. But if it's not possible for you to do that, then just make sure that you're making all of your text as accessible as possible. Remember, text on a video cannot be seen by a blind person. Just make sure that if you can't do a voiceover or anything of that sort, that all of your video description is really organized, that you don't have text that is exclusive to the video. It's a little bit more work, but I think it's very much worth it. If you do want to record a voiceover or record audio over a thing, I would highly recommend that you don't do it while the actual attacks are happening. Make sure that we can hear the attacks, make sure that the music's not overpowering those attacks, make sure that your voice is not overpowering those attacks. One thing that you can even do is just turn off the music and then add your own music in a video editing software, and then you can control the balance between the two things. Make sure that all the attacks are loud and able to be heard. Also, I would like state maybe at the beginning of the video that all this information is in the description. I would like maybe just say that to a blind person that's like watching the video. It's like, oh, okay, I can just like check it out in the description. And I feel like that's it. I feel like that's pretty much, if you're doing all these things, there might be things that I'm missing, but in general, I feel like if you do all these things and you're doing a lot more to make your videos more accessible. And I think it'll just help your content have a wider audience, right? And be able to like be accessed by so many more people. Help other communities of like fighting game players be able to learn in a comfortable way that like kind of suits their needs, right? So I think this is all very worth doing. Make sure to go over those. There's definitely going to be timestamps in this video, right? So now I do want to like do some examples with some videos that I was looking at. I really like this guide for a number of reasons, but then there's other reasons why it like kind of falters a little bit. So number one, if you look at the actual combos, each one has a very detailed description as to what the combo does. It'd be really cool if those same descriptions were down here in the video description. We have the notation for the combos, obviously, and that's great, but it'd be cool if those descriptions were also down here, maybe by the combo notations. Now, one thing that I really like about this video description is the fact that every section of combos is titled. If a screen reader tells you counter hits, and then it reads all of these combo notations to you, then you know what you're doing, right? Now, my main issue with this video, you might be able to like guess it already. Let's just start it up. There's the main problem right here. There's a little bit of a slowdown, and because of the slowdown, the game audio has been taken out. The detailed combo notations and the detailed breakdown, it ends up being useless for a blind person because you can't see the combos, right? Again, this is like not to drag anyone. It's just something that like a lot of people don't think about because they're not aware, right? And that's what the whole point of this video is. Very good video description, very cool descriptions in the video that I wish were in the video description, and unfortunately no game audio, right? Which makes it just impossible for a blind person to watch. So we have this whole video, and this combo video is great, very straightforward, but they do something really cool. Look at this. Slowed down version without audio, and then regular speed version with audio. That's for every single combo in the video. I think that completely solves the issue. Also, in this video, notice This person, obviously a blind person won't be able to see this, but a deaf person will. Look at this. They're using the combo recipe. The combo recipe system to actually not only display inputs, but display the combo on screen. Dengster did mention that the game music could be a little bit lower. So always make sure that you turn down your game music a little bit whenever you're going to do that. So the description is good. I do like the description because you do have all the combo notation. This is very easy to read, very easy to see, and just very straightforward, right? They're also broken down into blocks. I'm not exactly sure how a screen reader interacts with a paragraph break. I think this video description could benefit from actually titling each block. Oh, when there's a page break, you get a blank, and that's it, which is fine, right? So if you get a blank, then that's great. Having the paragraph breaks helps a lot because then you can like break it down. I feel like titles would make it even more helpful. This is essentially when I asked Dengster for his opinion about this video. This is the video that he linked me in terms of one video that he really appreciated the way that it was put together in terms of accessibility, right? I feel like timestamps would help as well, right? In general, it's good. I feel like it could use some timestamps. I feel like it could use some titles. But in general, it's like very good video. But they have a lot of really cool combo videos that all seem to be like in the same format. So great stuff in terms of accessibility. I was just looking through combo videos and I love this one. You can already see that there's chapters. And those are done with timestamps. All of these chapters, they're named after the combo notation, right? So this is fantastic. The audio was left on. It has timestamps and the combo notation is fairly standard, right? If we go down here, it would be cool to like have descriptions of like combo uses, but I don't think this is meant to be like this sort of video. This is meant to be a very simple video. Even though it doesn't have that breakdown of what each combo does, it just has very detailed notation for everything. They're all timestamps. I click on this and it takes me right to it. Row, purple RC, and then the wall break. It should have wall break with 6H, but that is so strange. Well, that's a great thing to like point out, Dengster, is that apparently the audio is in mono, right? So that must have happened like the video editing software or something like that. So this is a very important point that I forgot to make, and I'm really glad that you made it right here because I didn't notice that the audio in this video that I thought was great is not in stereo, right? So I guess let's do one final tip right here. When you're editing your video, make sure that your audio is being recorded in stereo and that you're exporting it in stereo, because again, that stereo image is what's going to make a blind person be able to essentially see what's going on in the screen through the audio, right? So actually, thanks so much for pointing that out. All right, y'all. Is there anything I missed? I feel like, you know, I'm still learning about all of this. I'm like, it's been this whole past year that I've been learning about accessibility in video games and changing my content to like fit these sort of standards, right? So like putting out text in my tweets, making sure that my stream is captioned, and it really doesn't take that much, right? It's just like really good stuff for one to do, just to make your videos more accessible and make sure that it's going. I will reiterate this again. This is not a conversation about shame. I'm not trying to say you're not doing this, you're not doing this. This is a conversation about learning and about growth and about understanding that there's always things that you could do better to make your content be more accessible, to make it better, to make it more available to essentially anyone that needs it, right? If you feel like maybe I'm saying something that wasn't right, or if maybe you think I'm overlooking like a thing that people should be doing on their combo videos or fighting game videos, make sure to let me know in the comments. I do read all of my comments and I make sure to like at least try to reply. I don't know a lot of streamers that are blind, but I do know a couple that I want to plug really quick in case y'all don't know them, right? So BlindWarriorSven, you can see him right here. I was watching a VOD of him a little bit ago, and BlindWarriorSven is just like a very, very good streamer, blind Street Fighter 5 player, way higher ranked than I am. Plays Ken, as you can see, like he uses a mod of Ken that wears the blindfold, which I love that. A very good player and a very good streamer that has been doing it for a while, right? Make sure to give him a follow. Also, TheSightlessOne, right? If you're into Mortal Kombat 11, TheSightlessOne plays Mortal Kombat 11. Also blind. Very good person as well. Very good player. Very good streamer. Make sure to give him a follow. We got to make sure we're plugging the people that are right. If you know any other blind or deaf streamers that maybe, you know, discuss accessibility or like anything like that, make sure to like leave it in the comments. I'll for sure give a follow to anyone that's like doing that sort of grind because I like respect it a lot and I think it's really cool. I think it's fascinating, right? To like just see all the things that you can do to make the most things, the more available for like everyone around you, right? So that's awesome. There's gonna be links for all of this stuff in the description, right? So I'm gonna have links for all of those Twitch channels. I'm gonna have links for all the videos that I talked about. I'm gonna have links for that tweet that I talked about at the beginning if you want to see that. Just links for everything, right? And then timestamps. I'm gonna try to do all the things that I talked about in the video so that I don't have people calling me out in the comments being like, well, you said to do this, but then you didn't do it. So I'm gonna like try to go over my whole video and make sure that I follow all those steps, right? Again, I'm not perfect. I don't have all the knowledge. Let me know in the comments if you have any thoughts about this video or how you feel about it. And thank you so much for watching. I will catch you the next time. All right, how was that? How did I do? Is that good? I feel like I was in shooting mode. I need to play some mother freaking Guilty Gear Strive, so let's do it. If you don't use alt text in Twitter, make sure you're doing that because it's just really helpful. Why didn't I hit A? I forgot that this game takes like 17 hours to load.